I'm still astonished. I'm sure everybody else is about what happened here last night. We had it in front of us. It developed in front of us. A lot of people missed that pitch. Tom Hallion and his crew, hey, these things happen in baseball. It just happened to happen to the Mariners last night.
Well, it did. Unfortunately, it happened to the Mariners. It happened to Doug Fister last night. Frustrating loss for them for sure. And, of course, you know, we've talked about, we heard it from Eric Wedge, too. You still have to score a run in the game. But they still might be playing right now if that run had basically not been given to San Diego by putting him on, because maybe, and I think with the way Doug Fister, maybe he ends up retiring. We'll never know that, but that's the frustrating part. You just won't know.
So what did the crew chief, Tom Hallion, have to say about it? Well, my plate umpire, Phil Cuzzy, he thought his count was wrong. The scoreboard had 3 and 2. He thought he was wrong because when Maven took off for first, nobody said anything. The catcher didn't react. Dugout didn't react, so he thought he had the wrong count. Now, do we feel bad? Absolutely. We count the pitches, and it was just one of those things that gets away with the scoreboard having a 3 and 2 count up there, and then nothing being said by anybody. We thought we had the wrong count. Yikes. And how about this? I just talked to a friend of mine who's an umpire who's been close to the Major League situations. You're not required to have the clicker behind home plate. Well, and then you end up with mistakes that were made last night. I think, look, you said it. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And clearly Phil Cuzzy did last night. But if he had a counter, maybe that would not have happened. And I don't understand why it's not required first. And even if it's not required, why you wouldn't have one with you. And to me, in the end, it's not the scoreboard's responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility, ultimately, except for the home plate umpire. He's got to be the fail-safe. We'll take a break and get you set for Mariner baseball. Blake Bevitt making his Major League debut. Good to have him up here with the big club. He'll be going against a good right-hander, Matt Latos. It's the Mariners and the Padres. Mariner baseball, first pitch straight ahead.
Brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Quest. Quest is becoming CenturyLink. CenturyLink, your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com/link. and by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Cage Sport Mixed Martial Arts, July 16th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Welcome back here to the Pen, presented by Root Sports. Brad, Adam with you. Lots of controversy, of course, last night. We talked about it, the 3-ball walk that really wasn't. Lots of controversy today, the week before the All-Star game, because teams announced today, and somebody's always left off. Somebody always feels like they've been snubbed. To find out who will be representing Seattle in Phoenix next week, we go down to the field and find out from Angie Mentink.
Yeah, Brad, I think it's fitting that the Mariners are sending 2 players to the All-Star game, and both of them are pitchers, the first time since 2003. Felix Hernandez is going to go for the second time in his career, and Brandon League, who leads the American League with 21 saves, will also go. You realize that he has not allowed a run in his last 18 appearances. All right, so what this also means is that for the first time in Ichiro's career, he will have the Midsummer Classic off. And new this year, Brad, that really is interesting to note is that players will be wearing these stars on the back of their jerseys and then also on the back of their hats. Not their helmets, but their hats. And they'll be wearing those all week leading up to the Midsummer Classic, but then they will not be wearing them after that. Well, the Mariners will try to win this rubber game in the 3-game finale, but they have to win today if they want to keep their interleague streak alive of 11 consecutive seasons of at least a 500 record.
Good crowd on hand for the Mariners' final home game before the All-Star break. Welcome into Safeco Field here in Seattle, Washington. Good to have you aboard as the Mariners and the Padres get it together, the rubber match of this weekend series. Dave Sims and Mike Flowers and a Root Sports crew, and let's take a look at the starting lineup for the San Diego Padres.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Mariners done a nice job keeping the first 2 hitters off base, and it's a good thing because Chase Headley has 5 hits in the first 2 games of this series. Ludwig with 10 home runs for the club. Maven scored the winning run last night, and Alberto Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter, drove in that run. Take a look at the numbers for Bevan, getting his first major league start, making his major league debut today.
First pitch in the big leagues from Blake Bevan, in there for a called strike one. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire. Chris Conroy at first. Tom Hallian, the crew chief, at second. Phil Cuzzy at third. Blake Bevan, minor league record 38.25. Career ERA in the minors 3.73. And here's what he did at Tacoma this year: 5-3.
The impressive part is the 93 innings and just 20 walks, Dave. The fact that he's a big man. He throws 92, 93 miles an hour and has command. He'll also use a changeup, a slider, and he's developed a curveball, a slow curveball. Anxious to see that. We did not get a chance to see that pitch in spring training.
First round pick of the Texas Rangers, 17th overall back in 2007. Came over with Justin Smoke, Josh Lukey, and Matt Lawson for Cliff Lee and Mark Lowe last July 9th. So here he is in the big leagues, 6 days short a full year after being acquired by the Mariners. 0-2 to Venable. Tapped right in front of the mound. Bevan takes care of it. 1 out.
Take a look at the defense behind Blake Bevan in this afternoon's game. In the outfield, Hallman in left, Gutierrez in center, Ichiro is in right. On the infield, Adam Kennedy moves back over to third base. Dustin Ackley back in the lineup playing second. He was out with a strain on his ribs. And Josh Bart will be behind the plate.
Blake Bevan out of Irving, Texas, 6'7", 240, faces Jason Bartlett. Down to Kennedy. Sun breaking through the clouds. 2 outs. Jack Zarincic, the general manager, earlier today said, hey, this kid's a strike thrower. Likes his poise. He was a big power guy in high school. He's been very consistent. Just a young kid, 22 years old. He says you never know about the first time. But he's a good kid. He's learned a lot. And we're anxious and excited to see what he can do. Here's Chase Headley. Headley, the most consistent offensive force for this Padre ball club. 308, leads the club in batting average and hits, doubles and walks. 5 hits, as Mike indicated, in the first 2 games. One and 2.
Looks like Blake's velocity has moved up since we saw him last time. Spring training, he was around 89 to 91, but he's been consistently 93 here in the first inning with his fastball.
And he gets a good giddy up on that strikeout. His first big league strikeout. His victim is Chase Headley. And a good start to the Mariner career for Blake Bevan. 1-2-3 go the Padres in the first. Ichiro will lead it off when we come back. game of the season for both of these clubs. The American League leads 121-117 with 8 games on tap today. Ichiro's going to lead it off. Here's the rest of the lineup, Mike.
Following Ichiro will be Brendan Ryan. Adam Kennedy hits third today. Justin Smoke in the cleanup spot. Good to see Dustin Ackley back in the lineup. He had to miss a few days. He will hit fifth. Hallman Figueroa, the DH today, hitting seventh. Then it's Gutierrez and Josh Bard will hit ninth. Numbers on Latos. A couple of small forwards in this game today with Bevan and Latos. 4.24 ERA, 87 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts for Latos.
Matt Latos last 7 games has thrown the ball nicely. 4-2 record, a 3.86 ERA. Ichiro at 268. Who would have thought? He's still the team's leading hitter. Flips this one in the left field, base hit. There's one thing, Mike, the Mariners can use. Some offense. Lots of it. My goodness.
They certainly can. This is a good way to start. Gets a fastball down and away from him. It's a line drive into the gap. Thought I had a chance to split the outfielders. But Denorpia, the left fielder, was able to cut it off and get it back in quickly.
And we send our salutes down to Doug Pfister again. What a magnificent game he threw last night. Gave up 1 run on 6 hits. His ERA 1.08 over his last 3 starts. Another walk-up heartbreak hill.
Yeah, that was a frustrating one last night. I'm sure nobody felt worse about it than all the guys in the Mariners dugout. That had to be frustrating for them, knowing the effort that Doug has been throwing out there, not just last night, but what he's been doing.
I was going to ask you about that because you've been on that side where you've seen a guy who's been dealing, and you said, dude, we got to get him some runs. I mean, he's been on the short end. And, what do you say anything to the guy?
You do. As a player, yeah, absolutely you will. Maybe not right after the game, but I'm sure that today, and just trying to keep him, encouraging him to do what he's doing. He has been fantastic, but eventually you have to score some runs. But it seems to me that every year there's that one guy. You know what I mean?
Every staff, right?
Every staff, there's that one guy. And unfortunately, this year, with a number of guys can say that as far as the lack of run support, but certainly Doug, as of late, with as well as he's pitched, it has to be frustrating for everybody in the dugout after a game like last night.
Lowest run support average in the majors at 2.19. I mean, so you give it a day or two. Like I went in the clubhouse today and was hoping to see him. He wasn't there. I was thinking maybe they told him not to show up until we were leaving it for the game today. But I mean, which I can understand, dude. Take a load off, relax. But he was here. He caught the first pitch from some of the
soldiers that were here.
Soldiers, yeah. But I mean, what do you say to a guy?
There's not much to say. Everybody knows what's going on. It's not like it's a big secret.
There's another Maben got a good jump. Nice jump on that one by Cameron Maben. Retires Ryan on the line drive.
It was a nice defensive play by Maben. The concentration as he goes down to his knees to try to hang in there on a line drive right at him. That's a tough play for a lot of outfielders. Take a look at the rest of the defense. Denorpia in left. Venable is out and right. And on the infield, Headley and Bartlett on the left side. Gonzalez and Rizzo, the young first baseman for the Padres, and Nick Hundley will do the catching today.
1 out, 1 on. Adam Kennedy batting in the 3 hole. He's 3 for 8 career against Matt Latos. Latos last year 14-10, a 2.92 ERA and 31 starts with 1 complete game and a shutout. Mr. Dependable here, Adam Kennedy. Interesting hearing about the whole thing last night with the missed pitch. Bud Black, he was on it. He's a pitcher, manager, former pitcher, manager of the Padres. And Phil Cousins, one of those unfortunate things, he didn't have a counter at, which blows my mind that there's no fail-safe to have a counter in your hand. And the visual evidence, this is pitch 6 last night. There's nothing in the hand, in the right hand.
And that's typically where they'll hold it.
Bill Miller, he's got 1-1-2. But Bud Black said, hey, I was on it, but I wasn't going to free base, get down there. He realized
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame Maven for going to first.
Absolutely. Now, have you been in situations where you've checked the count yourself? Something maybe didn't feel right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to be sure, and you ask the umpire to make sure that everything is right.
Ichiro takes off, and he's got a stolen base standing up. Hundley on the transfer dropped it. Stolen base for Ichiro is 21st.
Ichiro picks a good pitch to run on. This will be a breaking ball down in the dirt. Hundley can't come up with it cleanly, so he'll walk into second. I've been in situations where either the pitcher disagrees or the hitter disagrees with the home plate umpire, and you have a conference and you get it figured out, and usually the other umpires can help you with that, or he'll just go to his counter and show it to you. Here you go. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Right. His final word.
That's right.
Kennedy, the left field, Ichiro. Here he comes. He takes a look. The left fielder, DeNorfia, not going to play. 1-0 Mariners. RBI for Adam Kennedy is 27th. The Mariners have an early lead here in the first inning. And the Mariners went no runs on 2 hits last night. 0 for 5 runners in scoring position. They pick up a run early here.
Not a lot of flash to Adam Kennedy's game, but what he is reliable. He will give you a professional at bat time after time, and I think that's one of the reasons why Eric Wedge has hit him third lately. You know what you're going to get when he shows up to the ballpark. It's a good clutch hit in the first inning, get the Mariners on the scoreboard and help Blake Bevan out.
There's Justin Smoak, been sitting on 40 RBIs since June 19th. Smoak went 0 for 3 last night. First game of the series, Mariners win Friday night 6-0 behind Jason Vargas on a brilliant 6-hit shutout. Smoak went 1 for 3 in that ball game and broke an 0 for 22. There's Jason. It's in there for strike. Mariners caught a break yesterday. Texas lost to Florida 9-5, so the Mariners did not lose any ground. They're 3.5 back. So we got today's game to 3 in Oakland, 4 in Anaheim, and then the All-Star break. And I hope the Mariners at worst are at or better than 500, and then the Texas Rangers come in for a huge series, what could be a huge series. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday game series. 3 night games and a day game. 14, 15, 16, 17 July. Then the Mariners go on the monster road trip to Toronto, Boston, and New York. 2-1 to Smoak. He's got a favorable count here. Smoak against Latos. Hundley, the catcher. Matt Latos. 6'6", 224, born in Alexandria, Virginia. Across from Washington, D.C., now lives in San Diego. How about this kid? He's turned into a good pitcher here over the last 2 seasons. 18 and 15 for the Padres. 5 and 8 this year. 3-1. And smokes aboard with a walk. The 1 out, runners at first and second. And it's like the manager, Bud Black, coming out. No, that's the pitching coach, beg your pardon. Aaron Balsley. But Latos, an 11th round pick in 2006. Amazing, so much time and so much is talked about the first, second round pick, and how many guys over the years, 11th, Piazza 35th round pick or whatever, a lot of guys make it, and there's no guarantees that those top 3 rounds you come out of the top 3 rounds.
No, there are no guarantees, and sometimes too with somebody like Latos, I have to believe the kid with his body and being able to throw the fastball the way that he can throw it probably would have been a higher pick, and you never know, maybe at that time he was interested in going to college or doing something different, and nobody wanted to waste a high pick because they didn't think they could sign him. And then the Padres take a flyer at 11. The next thing you know, he's in the big leagues doing a nice job for you.
Not bad. Signed in
summer of '06. Here's Ackley. And Dustin back in action. He's 12 for 40 in his 13th game, hitting at an even 300. 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 2 triples. A little rib problem. Doesn't know if it was on a slide or a dive a few days ago, but left side front, top of his abdomen, right as it connects, he said, to the rib cage. Just not a lot of comfort there. He could have gone yesterday, but Rick Wedge and company, we wanted to make sure, give him an extra day.
It's typically the way it works. They keep asking me how you feel. You're not too good, not too good. I feel great. Okay, take another day, and then we'll get you in there.
Gil Olivo, probably will see him in Oakland. Give him today off. 2 on to Ackley. 2. Ichiro led off with a base hit to left. Stole second. Scored on an Adam Kennedy RBI. Two to Dustin. Fly ball. Short left center field. 2 down. All right. Thank you for being here today. Cardinals love the rallies. Greg Hallman, he had the only 2 Mariner hits last night. Greg Hallman double to right center in the 2nd inning, single to center in the 5th. The only 2 Mariner hits. Base runners for the Mariners last night. Holman 2 base hits and an error by the shortstop Park. Error with Brendan Ryan leading off in the 7th last night. Jackson Rendick chatting with him before the game at down in the dugout. That's another kid. Greg Hallman likes his development, going up the middle, going right side. He's a 5-tool player. He says that's great being a 5-tool player, but that one tool you gotta hit. If you hit, he says you can have 1 or 2, you can have 2 or 3 tools. You always talk about these 5-tool guys. You gotta hit. That's a principal thing.
Well, he's off to a nice start. You take a look at it. 378 coming into the game. Has a home run, a triple, and a double. 3 stolen bases for him. Well, that's when you start talking about superstars. Now, I mean, he's far from it right now, but when you have that kind of ability, if you can put it together and hit, now you really have something.
Couple of men out there with 2 outs. Kennedy and Smoke. Struck him out in the breaking ball, and that'll do it for the Mariners, but they do jump to a 1-0 lead. Ichiro got aboard. Kennedy scored him. Blake Bevan in his big league debut has got a 1-0 lead. Celebrating the famous flag moment from the 2001 season with McLemore and Cameron. It's thanks to Root Sports. For tickets, go to Mariners.com. Ryan Ludwig takes a called first strike. Ludwig to Norfia and Maben 4, 5, and 6 against Blake Bevan. Oh, and 2. Blake Bevan making his major league debut has thrown the ball very well lately for Tacoma. 4 and 2, and he strikes out Ludwig. Back-to-back strikeouts. Being at the 4-hole hitter for the Padres on 3 pitches. That 4 pitches.
And he climbs the ladder on him. You can see Josh Park giving the high target. Bevan's able to hit it, and Ludwig swings through it. 93-mile-an-hour fastball up above the belt.
Bevan thus far, 12 pitches, 11 for strikes.
I think he's handling the nerves just fine.
One to the Northfield. How many guys did you play behind making their debut?
Oh, a ton. A lot of guys.
And it stands out.
It's that second appearance that you're not necessarily guaranteed.
That's fun. Anybody remember somebody's debut that jumps out at you? There's another strike, 1 and 2.
Roll through it.
We last saw Bevan. It was down at Cactus League action in March. 1 and 2. Speed pitch. Bevan will have another easy second out. We saw him go 1-0 with a 6.43 ERA, 5 earned runs in 7 innings. In 3 games, 1 start down in Arizona. Earned the win, allowing 3 hits, 1 run, and 3 innings of work in a start against Oakland on March 12th. That was the last time we had a chance to see it.
Right. I want to talk about him. He's had the fastball, slider, and changeup. He's had about 7 starts ago in the minor leagues. He came up with the curveball.
All 1 to Cameron Maben. He was the focal point last night in the 5th inning, 1 out, 3-pitch walk. He took it and later scored on an RBI by Alberto Gonzalez. The only run in the ball game last night, 1-0 Padres. Oh. I hear a few people murmuring, hey, take your base now. Strike. Having a quick worker. And he missed the first walk. As a major leaguer. 2 out, 1 on, 2 strikeouts for Bevan. Well, Padres are hoping that their next hitter, Anthony Rizzo, is going to blossom into a big-time power hitter. He was the return on the Adrian Gonzalez trade to Boston last December. Anthony hitting 175. He went 1 for 3 last night. Base hit to right in the 7th inning. He went 0 for 3 on Friday night. Runner goes. Good swing on. Foul past Dave Roberts, first base coach.
Speaking of trades, Mariners, as everybody knows, had to trade Cliff Lee. Turned it out pretty good. You have Justin Smoke over at first base. You have this kid on the mound today in Bevan. We already saw Lukey. And then Matt Lawson, a utility infielder that they ended up trading away. And in return, they ended up with Aaron Laffey, and that's worked out extremely well for the Mariners in their bullpen.
So here's the move made today to get Bevan on the 40-man active roster and the 25-man active. Mike Karp optioned down to AAA Tacoma. Chris Jimenez 15-day DL to the 60. And that opened up the 40-man spot. Mike Karp can't catch a break, and circumstances have just gone against him, and this is what his third trip up here.
Back down where he was tearing AAA up. It's hard, and Eric Wedge is trying to do everything, especially with the young guys, trying to get them consistent at bats, but it's difficult to do up here sometimes. And Mike struggled a little bit with the time that he had, and probably the inconsistency of the at bats when he's in AAA. He's playing every day, and timing is fine.
He went 7 for 35 in 15 games, hit an even 200. Mike Karp 1-2. Maben was breaking, and now Bevan steps off. Jack Z said that Karp is going to go down there and get some ABs. He said that's the way it is. Be ready for the next phone call. It's tough. Going to reestablish his swing on a daily basis. 1-2. Maben takes off, swung on and missed. And Rizzo and the Padres are done in the second. Blake Bevan struck out his third hitter. Leads 1-0. Really good, but we got to give a little love to the boys in the military, men and women in the military. That's good stuff. Hey, what's the greatest moment in the rich history of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game? We'll join the Midsummer Classics debate. Go to MLB.com/moments to cast your ballot. We had some gentlemen from the Army. They were attack rangers. Boy, do I salute those cats.
That would probably be a good idea.
No, I dig what they do. I mean, and I'm glad they're doing it.
Yes, well,
not my cup of tea, but we need them.
We should all be thankful that. That's right. We should all be thankful that they are willing to do that for their country.
Here's Peguero to lead it off. It's Matt Latos. Nice to see the sun breaking through. Carlos DHing today. Peguero, Gutierrez, and Bard 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom of the second. Peguero started in left field Friday. A big 2-run single. We'll hold up. Mariners have their run in the first inning. Adam Kennedy RBI, Ichiro led off with a single, stole second, and scored. Fly ball, short left field. And coming in to get it is Denorfia for the first out. A couple of Mariner All-Stars here in this ball club that's 40 and 43 as we start today. Felix Hernandez and Brandon Lee.
Congratulations to Brandon Lee.
Felix Hernandez, I talked to him before the game. He said that he says, geez, with that last start, I didn't think I was going to make it. He says, those freaking ground balls back up the middle. I didn't know, but he's probably not going to be able to pitch because he's going to pitch. He'll be slated to pitch next Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
And League has been, I mean, what more can you say about League?
Leads the league in saves.
And, you know, how about the dark period he went through, the Baltimore trip, Cleveland trip, after being 9 for 9, and then it just fell apart.
About a 3-game stretch for him, right? But now, I mean, you look at him now, he's been as good as it gets.
Strike 2 to Goody. Brandon League has converted his last 14 save opportunities. No runs, 8 hits in 14 games, 14 innings. That's a bounce back. 0-2 to Gutierrez. And he strikes out on 3 pitches, 2 down for Latos, his second K. Ichiro's string is ended. He's a regular at the All-Star game.
Was it 11-time All-Star?
Yeah.
11 in a row.
Maybe he should accept Big Papi's invitation now for the home run derby. Josh Bard. Josh is 0 for 2 against Matt Latos. Josh was 0 for 3 last night. He was batting in the 7th hole. Mariners will be flying off to San Francisco. They'll be taking on Oakland the next 3 days. Padres will be right next to us. They're going to be in the same hotel. They'll be playing the Giants. Look at the profiles of these two ball clubs. Padres 15th and 16-team National League in batting average, last in runs, next to last in hits, last in ERA, 4th. Make that last in home runs and 4th in ERA. Mariners are last in batting average, runs, hits, 12th in homers and 2nd in ERA. Last day of interleague play. 3-1 to Bard. Throws it down to Rizzo. Plays it off his chest. Latos is there for him, and that'll do it for the Mariners in the second. Mariners lead 1-0. Adam Kennedy first inning RBI single. Budweiser will donate $100 to Folds of Honor for every home run hit in Major League Baseball. Visit Facebook.com/Budweiser to see how you can help support our nation's heroes. All right, sun breaking through here at Safeco Field. We begin the third inning. Pitch fouled back by Nick Hundley, the San Diego catcher. He'll be followed by Alberto Gonzalez, the second baseman. Then back to the top of the order, and Will Venable. Drive to left center field for Goody. Gutierrez makes the catch. Slides over, 1 out. So Bevan, 2 1/3 now. He's got 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Not allowed a hit.
It's been impressive so far. 27 pitches for him, 20 strikes, just 7 balls. Out of the 8 hitters he's faced, 7 first pitch strikes.
There's Alberto Gonzalez. He took over second base in the first game after Orlando Hudson fouled a ball. I mean, just squared it up. Second inning, fouled one off his left knee. O'Dog's taking some infield today. Looks like he'll be ready for tomorrow. First base hit. Coming on a 1-1 pitch from Gonzalez.
Was on a breaking ball and missed his spot. Looked like Josh Bard wanted this pitch off the outside corner. Ends up spinning it in the middle of the plate. Actually stays on the inner half, and he hits it hard into left field.
Top of the order now, Will Venable. Tap back to Bevan. It was the first out in the career of Blake Bevan. Times called. Venable 0 for 4 yesterday. Struck out looking twice, and twice grounded out to the second baseman. Strike 1 to Will. A 1 pitch. It's driven into the gap and through to the fence. Here comes Gonzalez, the third, getting a big wave on, and there'll be no throw. San Diego leads 1-0 on the RBI double by Will Venable. His 13th RBI, and for Venable, it's his 6th double.
And this is on a fastball, 92 miles an hour. Again, trying to get to the outside corner. That pitch starts on the inside corner and runs to the middle of the plate. It's a good piece of hitting by Venable. A lot of left-handed hitters would have a tough time getting on a pitch that's above their belt, but he lines it into the gap.
Jason Bartlett, the shortstop. 1 out, runner at second, a run in. Ty scored at 1-1. Bartlett grounded out the third first time. Ackley will make the play. Runner goes to third, 2 down. Venable over to third, 2 outs, and it'll bring up Chase Headley. Mariners have done a good job on Jason Bartlett. Now Headley. 5 for 9 in the series. It's out of play.
I think because of the size of Bevan, and you look at his throwing motion, it looks real free and easy. I think that 92, 93 mile an hour fastball gets in on the hitters a little bit quicker than you would expect.
0-1. It's playable for the shortstop Ryan, and that'll do it. But the Padres tie it up. They get a run on 2 hits and leave a man. Home third coming up. This guy in a 4th of July spirit. 1-1 ball game. Here's Ichiro. Sunshine. Safeco field. This could be interesting. Bartlett knows he got to hurry. Boots it. That'll be a base hit, though. Base hit for Ichiro. He's 2 for 2. Got the Mariners started in the first inning with a base hit to left. Stole second and scored on the Kennedy single.
We look at the swing by Ichiro. Chop it out in front of the plate. Once he gets past the Mount Bartlett, the veteran knows that he has to come in a hurry. Typically catching it and making a throw isn't a problem, but when you know Ichiro's running, you rush things, and without a clean exchange, you'll end up dropping it on the infield grass.
Brendan Ryan, he flied to center first time.
And he hit the ball hard, lined it into center field. Maven had to go to his knees to make the catch.
2 for 9 on the series. It's a strike. One infield hits for Ichiro. Tied with Michael Bourne of Houston. Ryan with a base hit. 0-1 offering, so the Mariners building something here in the third. TNT trivia question time. Which event is the oldest? Good question. Wimbledon Tour de France, which is going on right now. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest. We had our Safeco Field version here earlier. Couldn't look at it. And the MLB All-Star game.
Oh.
So Wimbledon ended today. Djokovic beats Nadal. How about that? Beat him in 4 sets. The Tour de France starts today. Or yesterday, beg your pardon. There's Adam Kennedy with 2 on, nobody out. They just almost threw it into center field.
I'm going to go with Wimbledon.
I'll go with Tour de France.
Okay.
All-Star game is 1933. Chicago, Comiskey Park. See if Adam Kennedy can pick up another run or 2. Mariners a run on 4 hits. Padres a run on 2 hits. It's a 2-0.
Eric Wedge playing for the big inning. Nobody out and a couple of runners on, letting Adam Kennedy swing. Why not? Adam's already driven in a run with a base hit. Don't want to give up any outs, any free outs anyways, to try to pick up a run. He'd like to get 2, 3, maybe 4. Crooked numbers up on the scoreboard.
2-0. They get 3-0. Justin Smoke's on deck. Take a look at Brendan Ryan at first base. A couple of pitches ago, he got into a pose. He looked like he was posing for a sprinter's statue as Kennedy takes ball 4 to load him up for Justin Smoke. Second walk issued by Latos, and the Mariners have turned up the heat on the young man. Be as good a time as any for Smoke, looking for that first RBI since June 19th. First pitch to Smoke. Goes the other way, foul ball.
He has a huge gap in right center field. Right fielder Venable playing straight away, maybe even a shade, maybe a step towards the line. And Maven in center field is shading him to left center. which makes sense. Justin hits a lot of balls hard the other way into the gaps. I can see the scouting report, but I'm not sure why Venable's not moving over with him. See if he can take advantage of it.
0-2. That one home run he hit opposite field here. That is, he and Figueroa going.
Well, the one he hit when we were in Detroit against the Tigers.
Oh, there are two of them out there, right?
Yeah, into the Mariners bullpen.
Into on both trips, he went out there, which is the equivalent of putting it in the pen here.
Yeah, the back reaches of the pen.
0-2 pitch. 0-2. Not allowed. He's salami. There's time for everything. One, two to Smoke. All right, interesting pitch here at 2-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ichiro's at third. You got Ryan at second. Kennedy at first. How far can he hit one? Fouls it off. Florida and Texas, they'll play in about 3 hours. As we look at a 2-2 to Smoke. Full count. The plot thickens.
Well, here you go. Probably going to get a fastball at about 92 miles an hour. We'll see how far he can hit it. He'd get a good pitch to hit. Nowhere to put him.
Latos has got the deal to Smoke. 3-2. Nobody out. Bases loaded. The pitch. It's a fly ball. Deep left field. Going back to Norfria. He's on the track. He'll make the catch. Ichiro's going to score to make it 2-1. Ryan hustling the third. He's there. So Justin Smoke with his 41st RBI. His first since June 19th. And the Mariners have a 2-1 lead.
And he doesn't miss this one by much. Gets a fastball. It's up and out over the plate right where he likes it. Need to get one more grain of that bat on the ball. You can see it's just skies it to left, but he'll end up taking DeNorfia all the way up against the fence.
Mariners lead 2-1. And the hitter now is going to be Dustin Ackley.
It was a good at bat by Justin Smoke. Had to battle his way through it.
Kept in front by Humbley. Ackley on a 2-2 pitch, fly to left, his first time. The Mariner RBI leader, Justin Smoke, with his 41st. Next closest is Olivo with 38. Latos looking in to Hundley. Hundley looking into the dugout for the sign. 1-0 is the count to Ackley. Here Bill Miller say outside. 2-0.
Seeing Latos try that fake to third, go to first move. Had an opportunity yesterday afternoon. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire today, came out early yesterday and had a chance to talk to him about check swings and box and all of those things. And getting some good footage of that. You'll be able to see that soon. Pre-game shows. And
2-0 line drive center field. Maben cruises back. He'll make the catch. Ryan will tag and score easily. And it's 3-1 Mariners. So back-to-back sac flies. Ackley picks up an RBI, his 7th. With Dustin Ackley, that's his first sacrifice fly as a big leaguer.
We talked about it with Ackley. The ball jumps off of his bat. A lot of guys, it's just a solid line drive into center field. You can see him staying with it, go down and dig it out, but he chases Maben back. Deep enough to where Brendan Ryan can just walk home.
There's Greg Hallman with Kennedy. He's still at first, 2 runs in.
This will be an interesting at bat for Hallman. His first time up, Leto stayed with his slider. Kept throwing pitches off the plate, and Hallman couldn't lay off of it. Didn't want to give in to him, just serve him up a fastball. There's another breaking ball.
Strike 1. Greg. Let's see the wind blow those clouds away. We got real good patch of blue above, and as you can see, the sun giving us a really good look here. Come back with a breaking ball here.
I think so. I think so. And it's, for young hitters, it's a difficult thing to get them off of the fastball. Sometimes you need to sit on that breaking ball if the pitcher shows you he's going to consistently throw it to you. But for young hitters, they have a tough time getting away from the fastball.
See what happens here. 1-1. Breaking ball popped up. Right field to Venable. Good inning nonetheless for the Mariners. Back-to-back sacrifice flies by Smoke and Ackley after each run. Ryan set the table, and the Mariners have a 3-1 lead.
Sports Desk. Meantime, Cliff Lee hasn't given up a home run since May 31st, but today he was up against the Toronto Blue Jays, and our Sterling Savings Bank score in the 8th, Eric Thames, ends that streak with the first pitch, and then Jose Bautista goes back-to-back, sending his Major League leading 27th into the stands. Jays stop Lee's scoreless inning streak at 34 and also give him the loss. Dave, 7-4.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Boy, that Bautista's awesome. He is emptying the bag every swing, as Ludwig does right here. Strike 1, Ludwig, Denorfia, and Maben. Mariners lead 3-1. RBIs today by Kennedy, Smoking, and Ackley, 3, 4, and 5 guys. Oh and 2. Oh-2 pitch. And Ludwig just barely fought that one off. So far, so good here for Mr. Bevan. First major league start. Giving up a run on 2 hits. He struck out 3, walked 1.
The defensive swing by Ludwig, and that was a 0-2 pitch that was right in the middle of the plate.
Punches this one. Ryan's right there. Brendan Ryan with the catch. All right, that's the colors of the Colombian flag. Through the Colombian skies to get American rally flags. Yes, that's a pretty good haul to get up here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your sign. Nice, good work. Ernesto Ferrer out of the bullpen for the Padres is from Columbia. Kennedy with this chopper from Denorfia throws him out with 2 outs. So the Mariners across the infield: Kennedy, Ryan Ackley, and Smoke. The outfield: Holman, Gutierrez, and Ichiro, with Bard behind the plate for Blake Bevan. There's Cameron Maben walked in a 3-1 pitch. 2 outs back in the second. Foul ball on the bunt attempt, strike 1.
First pitch strikes. 14 out of the 15 batters that Bevan has faced. Remarkable when you consider this is his major league debut, to be that poised and be able to come out and command the strike zone the way that he has so far.
0-2.
In fact, 43 pitches thrown, 35 strikes, just 8 balls so far.
0-2 to Maben. See if he can put him away. Mariners back swinging the bats on at the bottom third of the order coming up. 1-2 pitch. A little bit of a short armor, isn't he?
It is, and it's unusual. You typically, men of his size don't do that, but that's exactly the way he throws.
Slow roller, broken bat. Ryan might have a tough play. Wow, he got him, because Maben can really run. Maben can't believe it. Another fine play by Brendan Ryan, the Mariners shortstop. Padres are sent back in 1-2-3 here in the fourth. Charges and threw a dart right to Smoke to get the speedy Maben 3-1 Mariners. Oldest event. Which one's oldest? Wimbledon, Tour de France, Nathan's hot dog eating contest, or the baseball all-star game. Mike Flowers and the fans went with A, Wimbledon. I went with B, Tour de France. Survey says Wimbledon. Mike Flowers, everybody. Well, I placed. At least I was in the money. I finished in the money. Tour de France was second. Nathan's hot dog eating contest, I knew it went back. I didn't realize it was that far back, and I knew the All-Star game 1933. Arch Ward, a Chicago sports writer, said, hey, let's get the best players in baseball. A little charity game. My, is that grown.
Hope Curtis tallies that up for.
You're on a nice little roll here last week.
Curtis, the fans got him again today.
Carlos. Curtis says the fans are game under 500. Strike 1 to Carlos Peguero, to be followed by Franklin Gutierrez and Josh Bard. Peguero fly to left. It's off the plate, 1-1.
Try to go back in there again.
Late toast today. Strikeouts, a couple of walks. Back-to-back sacrifice flies in the third. And the Mariners lead again. Lead Buck with a 2-2. Fastball outside at 95. Payoff pitch here to Peguero. Big swing and miss. Strikeout 2-3. Third strikeout for Latos. Hey, make sure you join us for a very special celebration Saturday, July 16th. Mariners face the Rangers, and during the pregame on-field ceremony, we're going to welcome back members of the Mariners 2001 record-setting team, including Lou Piniella, Jay Buhner, Norm Charlton, Jamie Moyer, Kaz Suzuki, and more. Plus, the first 20,000 fans receive a commemorative 116 T-shirt. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. We had Jamie Moyer up here recently. The Phillies were in town. He's excited about that. We've ran into somebody that was with Lou Piniella recently, and it said, I think it was Jamie, talking about how excited he is to be coming back. Those are to give away the Macklemore Cameron bobblehead. That'll be on Friday night of that series against the Rangers. 1-0 to Gutierrez. With the flag and everything. Two are really good guys too, Cameron and Macklemore. 1-1. Wonder what Cammy's going to do now that he was kept a couple of days ago by Boston. Still in great shape. He might be able to help somebody.
Yeah, he's having a tough time getting it going in Boston. He wasn't playing regularly there.
Yep. 2-2 to Goody. Ted is struggling. 186 is his batting average after his second inning strikeout. Cameron Maben was in really good position to catch that slicing drive. He was shading towards right center, so he hits it on the button. In the scorebook, it's an 8, 2 outs. Coors Light freeze can. Second diving catch we've seen Maben make.
Well, the other thing that he has is impressive closing speed.
Nice work. There's Josh Bard.
Mike Cameron patrolled some of that center field in San Diego. You need to have somebody that can cover a lot of ground. It looks like Maben is that guy.
It's a big yard. Came over from Florida. Cameron Maben. Clearly he can run and cover some outfield. They're waiting for him to develop into a hitter. They think he's going to be started today at 264. 1-1 to Josh Bard. Right on the ledge of the GM box.
Mariners taking advantage of Latos' splits. Not what he would like to see. 71 pitches, 39 strikes, 32 balls. Just hasn't been real sharp here today. So he has good stuff, though. He's topped out at 95. A good curveball from him.
Mariners got a run in the first. Adam Kennedy with an RBI. Then in the third, back-to-back sacrifice flies by Smoke and Ackley. San Diego run. Venable an RBI double in the third. Full count to Bard with Ichiro on deck. Ichiro's off to a good start today. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. Payoff pitch to Bard. Breaking ball got him. Fourth strikeout for Matt Latos. 4 in the books and a 3-1 Seattle lead. Points on that rally fry sign. Nicely done. Hey, Roots Sports is looking for the biggest Mariner fans in the Northwest. Throughout this season, we're going to be going state to state, find the most passionate fans in our region. And this month, we want to hear from devoted fans in the great state of Alaska. Make sure you log on as Smoke takes care of that one off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Log on to rootsports.com. Show us what you've got. Show us why you're one of the Mariners' ultimate Northwest fans.
Grandma wants to see you on TV. Say hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa.
He's saying hi to that glove more than Grandma and Grandpa. A little shy, but well, Grandma and Grandpa. Nick Hundley flied out the center. Shows bunt. Takes a strike. So Blake Bevan in his major league debut. He's in the 5th inning, giving up a run on 2 hits. Struck out 3, walked 1. Drive to left. Hallman. For the second out. Checking with Angie Mentic to see what's doing.
All right, guys, thank you very much here at the Northwest Florida Sports Desk. We all remember when Michael Jordan took that break away from basketball to play baseball. Well, apparently, the former Chicago White Sox minor leaguer is still a big fan. Cubs and White Sox in the 4th inning with a man on, and Ramos Ramirez goes the other way. Over the other Ivy wall in left center field, puts the Cubs up 3-0. They end up winning it 3-1.
All right, Angie, thank you. MJ at the ball game. 1-1 to Alberto Gonzalez. 1-out single in the 3rd. Came around to score on the RBI double by Venable. Bevan's impressive. His longest outing down at AAA went 8 innings. Oh, it hit him. Oh, that didn't sound good at all. Oh. Not to mention it hurts like that.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that on a 1-2 count. Cruising along. Yep, that'll square you up right in the ribs. Feel that one. Have a nice bruise on there for a couple of days.
Take a listen. You hear the exhale.
Yep.
2 outs, runner on top of the order for Max Venable. That's his dad, Will Venable. This is Will Venable. His dad was Max. And first, back in time, Gonzalez.
Keep Gonzalez close. He has scored the only run for the Padres, and that came off of a double by Venable. So the Mariners outfield playing deep and straight away.
Outside. 2-0 the count. This begins the final week, first half of the season. Mariners to Oakland and Anaheim after this. Boy, Venable with another base hit. Ichiro's going to cut it off. And here's a throw to third. Might have a play. And it's offline, and into second is Venable. A single, taking second on the throw is Venable. All the way to third is Gonzalez.
Take a look at it. Solid base hit into right field. This is a mistake by Ichiro. He comes up. He's trying to throw the runner out at third, but he throws it and airmails the cutoff man, which lets Venable, the tying run, get down to second base with 2 outs. Venable reading that throw the whole way. It's the way you're taught. Take a look at it. If you don't think the cutoff man can get to it, just keep on running, and that's what he did.
Foul ball off the bat of Jason Bartlett, who's 0 for 2 today. Pitching has handled him. They need to do it again here. 0 for 10 in the series. And they will. Kennedy throws the smoke, and another 0 posted by Blake Bevan. San Diego with no runs, a hit, no errors, 2 left, 3-1 Mariners. Padres in a rubber match of this series. Here's a reminder, the All-Star Club offers a first-class experience at Safeco Field where you can reward your employees. or take your clients to a Mariners game. Enjoy a delicious all-inclusive buffet and a private lounge with excellent views of game action. For details, visit mariners.com/all-star-club. Ichiro leading off here in the bottom of the 5th. And we're thrilled and pleased to welcome our good friend Harold Reynolds in to the booth here, now with MLB Network, doing a great job with all the fellas over there as Ichiro grounds one down to Rizzo for the first out. H, what's going on, baby? Good to see you, man.
What's going on, Dave? Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
my pleasure, my pleasure.
Traveled a long
Hello,
way.
Mr. Mike Blowers.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, you regaled us with the Ricky story about that. That was one of the funniest lines of all time.
Yeah.
Ricky had 50 at the break.
Oh, my goodness. We were just talking about that. I was doing the radio over there with Rick Riz, and we were talking about that. He asked me about one of my top Mariner moments, and that was the stolen base thing we were talking about.
Nice, nice. How things back in Secaucus, New Jersey?
Love it, man. Network's doing great.
Yeah,
it's rolling. People are watching. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of freedom. It's great. Good group of people.
And you do have a lot of good guys, man, that are very enthusiastic and like being on the camera, and you guys have fun too, man. You're back and forth. I like it.
Yeah, we have so many different combinations. So the biggest challenge early for Tony Petitti and John Ince was to figure out what combinations work. And so we've done that, but the crews come on. Now we have another show called The Rundown. It starts at 3 o'clock. You're on that.
Yes, indeed. I'm proud to be a part of it. Yeah, thank you.
That starts at 3 o'clock Eastern, and that means we're on basically from 3 Eastern till last out on the West Coast. So it's a lot of people that have to work, which is good. When you coming on, Blau?
He's got all the work right there.
Dave, he comes on clean with his. You got a hat deal or what, man?
I do.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah. I figured something. He got some nice hats. He matches the shirts with the hats and everything else.
You gotta do it. You gotta come strong, right?
Absolutely, guys. You gotta have fun this year. The M's are good.
Hey, man, Mike can tell you this. This is a 180 from last year. 101 losses compared to being competitive now, around 500.
Yeah, especially when you're doing games every day, man. It's tough to keep that enthusiasm. You guys are doing a great job. We listen all the time. But the club, man, pitching's been unreal.
It has been, especially the bullpen. Good to see Brandon League made the All-Star team. He deserved to lead the league in saves. But when you talk about David Pauly, Aaron Lappy, the job that David Wright has done.
Yeah.
You probably played against David Wright. That's how long he's been around.
That's what I was sitting there going.
Or Jamie Wright, excuse me.
No, I know you're talking about. Yeah, Jamie Wright. I'm sitting there going, hold on, man. This guy's been throwing a long time. So, yeah.
They've been doing it out there, though. I mean, everybody's been talking about the starting pitching, but the bullpen has been impressive. They play defense, too.
Yeah, they do. Well, I'll tell you what, Brendan Ryan's an upgrade with anybody. And then you can move Jack Wilson over and let him pick it the way he does different places. But Ackley's been a pleasant surprise. I didn't think he was ready.
At second base, in terms of second base, you being the second baseman.
Well, the first night when the double play he turned from third to second to first, 5-4-3.
Figgy started it right.
Yeah, when he turned that double play, this kid can play, man.
And they throw him out. Oh man!
High tag right there.
Brendan Ryan can't believe it as he's thrown out by Hundley for the second out. Second base umpire is Tom Hallion, the crew chief.
The only thing I would say is that he went by the bag instead of to the base. So let's see. He planted that little left foot on him.
Never got there.
That's weak.
Coming from a base stealer, I would agree.
That's weak, man. I remember that.
Yep, he's going right up to check the video out.
Yeah. Well, see, Brendan, you're up there in the middle. You can do that at shortstop now. Remember that guy.
How often do you get to the Northwest?
Not much. Probably 2-3 times a year, maybe. And this is one of the times I got a family reunion going on right now. So came in this week. We'll go to Oregon on the 4th, and then we'll go to Arizona from there for the All-Star game. So,
what did you think of the play last night? The 3-ball walk.
Oh man.
To Maben. He comes around and scores.
That's just devastating. I'm really surprised. There's 3 key people that didn't know what was going on: the pitcher, the catcher, and the umpire. You would think they would all know. And I don't know what, I'm not even going to give the hitter a pass either. That's 4 people. Sit down, ball.
Going back is Alberto Gonzalez for the catch. Stick around another inning?
Yeah.
Harold Reynolds joining us from MLB Network. Great to have him here, former Mariner. 3-1 Mariners as we go to the 6th. his thoughts on what happened last night. Who takes some responsibility? Does he? Let's listen.
You know, I'm the manager of the ball club, and you know, ultimately, you know, anything that happens out there, it's my responsibility. So it's obviously very unique, you know, something like that happening. But you know, we talked to these guys about being accountable for everything, and I've got to be accountable for that.
You know, it's one of those things that I think it's only happened one other time in the history. So I mean, you know, things happen, and you know, just makes you be on your toes the next time.
Okay, at what point did you know? Because you found out actually within the game itself, yeah? Yeah,
with my routine, I like to come back up in here in the clubhouse and kind of cool off in between innings, and I think I heard it in the 8th inning or so. But you know, I mean, it's just the way it goes.
That's tough. Harold Reynolds from MLB Network joining us. Dave Sims and Mike Blowers up here in the booth. Ground ball by Headley. Ackley stays with it. Nice play.
Indeed. You know, that's a real difficult play, too. When you're going full speed one direction, have to stop and come back. But he didn't panic. That's what I liked about it, is he knocks the ball down, realizes he doesn't have it. And a lot of guys right here start to panic, huh, Blau?
Yes.
And he took his time and made a nice little flip.
I think the biggest thing, too, is what you're saying after he drops it, the change of directions right away.
He even had the presence of mind right there to look at the base runner to see where he was at.
And so many times guys will go back, and just before they pick the ball up, that's when they'll look, and then they miss it. They drop it.
Yep.
Here's Ryan Ludwig, 1-0 to him.
He's been a nice player. He's going to be a nice player. I like Ackley a lot.
He's got a good purpose up at the plate, too. Very calm. You know, very calm. Not, you know, doesn't show any anxiety up there.
Got a weird swing.
Yeah, but he barrels up.
He barrels it up, man. It's weird because you don't know how to throw him. It looks like he's inside out. Then it looks like he gets around it. He does everything.
Speaking of panic on the field, oh, jeez.
Wow.
Let me tell you this. I didn't panic on any one of the 4 errors.
That's cold, man.
But that's all right. It tied a record, actually, I think at the time with 36 other people, something like that. So, I can wear that, too. But I'll tell you what, those last couple innings, there was some panic because people were hooting on me. It was in Yankee Stadium, and they were telling me if I make one more, I'll get the record myself. Trust me, I didn't want to make one more. And the next one was like a 2-hopper to me, and you would have thought somebody threw a ball underhand, and it took everything I had to cradle that thing up against my chest, and luckily there was runners on first and second, and I beat him to third because I wasn't about to throw it into the stands again.
Oh my goodness!
But it's, that was my rookie year, and that's part of the deal. You go out and you have rough days, and I learned a lot from that day.
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
did. You got a lot stronger, didn't you?
I had to.
Oh
you
my
have to.
goodness!
You have to deal with it.
Did you have one?
I had a game like that in New York, in Yankee Stadium as well. It was 2 errors in one game, but back-to-back plays. Runner on first. You know the routine force where they throw to second base for the force out. And Ray Quinones, with his crazy self, you never knew where he was going to throw from. And instead, it's a ground ball routine to him, and he flips the junk underhand and hides it from me. And now I lose it in the white shirts in the audience. I drop it, okay, in the stands. I drop it. So now we're first and second. Lo and behold, same play. He goes into the hole, throws it back. I drop it again. And he's like, don't worry, be happy. We sweep, man. We sweep. That's right. Ray Quinones, man. Don't worry, be happy. We sweep.
1-0 the count to the Northfield. What do you think of this kid Bevan? He's making his big league debut here today.
I love it. He's pounding guys inside. He's got good stuff. Tremendous poise. He's around the plate. Looks like he's making the pitches when he needs to. They found another gem. I don't know where they're coming with all the pitching, but it's been incredible.
Big surprise in baseball to this point, as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, I mean, they're right there. Cleveland, obviously, you got to talk about them being a surprise, too. But nobody expected the Mariners to be right here. We're right. I'm saying we. They're right here. The Mariners are right here. No, we're right here, man. We really
3.5 back. Florida beat Texas last night, 9-5. Play later on today.
Yeah.
5 o'clock Pacific time. 2-1 the count to Northfield.
It's crazy, but the window of opportunity is there. You know, Texas hasn't put anybody away. They're still not sure what's going to happen with their pitching. It's been a little iffy. And, you know, the Angels have been up and down. They're not that consistent. They're not as good as club as most people think as they've been in the past. So Seattle's right there striking.
And I've heard people throw a little bit of a parallel to what the Giants did last year. You buy some of that?
Yeah, I buy that. I buy that, definitely. If there's some way to figure out how to get another bat, get some offense going, it's not going to take much to give them games and give them opportunities to win.
What kind of trade rumors you hearing? Anything good?
I heard somebody named Blowers was coming back out of the booth. There
have been a few tweets to that effect earlier this year.
You look like you can still play. I know that is not going to happen. My knees hurt. My knees hurt. You can get out there and do it, though.
Yeah. Well, a couple of people might just say, just take a hack. Just take 1 or 2 hacks and make a difference.
There's always rumors. I have no idea what's going on. But I think as we head into trade deadline, the one thing that will hurt as Cameron Maven steps in to hit here. And that's the end of this half.
As soon as you're about to tell a story, right?
Come on.
You're all right.
Oh. But I think what will happen, there's so many teams that still think they're in it. It's going to be difficult to trade come trade deadline. It's going to be hard to say, all right, we'll abandon our club. But I think you can look at the Houston Astros. They've got about 4 or 5 players that might be moved over there. You can't go to Kansas City anymore and think, okay, we'll go to Kansas City. Although they may give up Joaquin Soria, but that's not offense. But it's going to be tough to find players because there's so many teams bunched up right now.
How about Ludwig with the San Diego Ball Club?
I think that'd be a good move. He's a guy that can be picked up. He's been in a pennant race, World Series. He understands all that. He's played the big ballpark in San Diego. He's been around. He'd be a good pickup.
I think that with the way the Mariners pitch and play defense, and they're hanging in there, if they get into the break in good shape, they got the Rangers for 4 coming right out of it. Maybe create a little momentum.
It's going to be fun.
Have the Rangers come in there to say go and beat them up 3 out of 4 or something like that. Have some fun with it.
0-2 pitch outside.
Well, I think they're a different team too. I mean, even now, I don't know what's happened to Figgins since he's got to Seattle. He just has not been the player he was in Anaheim. But Adams having a big year now. It looks like just in watching from a distance, they're starting to move him out of the lineup a little bit more. He being Figgins. But Ackley's going to give you some offense. Kennedy, that's 2 more bats that you're putting in on a daily basis that wasn't there in the first half. Justin Smoke's playing well. Brandon Ryan's off the charts. And you got Gutierrez back healthy.
Here's Ryan. Flips, and they get the force.
And I love the kid in left.
And Holman?
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yes, he
hey,
is.
it's good to see you, man.
All right, buddy.
Pleasure
Thank
as
you.
always, man. Thanks for everything.
Harold. Mike, good seeing you, bro.
See you.
All right.
All right, Harold Reynolds from
See you later. Thank
MLB
you.
Network joining us here. Good to have you with us as the Mariners continue as we have a 3-1 Mariner lead. Brought to you by AT&T. By Budweiser, official beer, the Thirst Inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some buds. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. At late toast. First pitch to Smoke. Strike. And Smoke behind 0-2. To Smoke. On the outside. Smoke, last time up, a sacrifice fly. Picked up his first RBI since June 19th. And today he's 0 for. He is not an official. And at bat, he's walking, hit a sacrifice as we look at the Century Link high-speed pitch. Blake Bevan. Strong performance here in his debut. And going back to get it was the shortstop. Catch made by Bartlett. 1 out.
Bevan has been impressive today, commanding the strike zone, using all of his pitches. Mariners offensively able to get to Latos early in the game when he was struggling with his command, and 92 pitches for him now. There's some action out in the bullpen for the Padres.
Strike 1 to Ackley. Dustin a fly to left field and a sacrifice fly to center. First sacrifice fly as a major leaguer. Fly ball left field to Norfield towards the line. 2 outs. Check out the Mariner calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Interleague play ends today. Back to divisional play tomorrow. Day game on the 4th of July and a day game on the 6th, and the Angels for 4. And then the All-Star break. And make sure you get your tickets for the next home game. That's coming up against the Texas Rangers on Thursday night, July 14th. Which is what? Bastille Day, July 14th. Oh for 2 day for Hallman.
Latos going right back to the breaking ball with Hallman. Steady diet of those to Greg today.
It's one of those, until you can hit it, I'm staying with it. There's another bender, 1-2. We talked about him earlier. It's Ernesto Frieri, young man from Colombia down in South America. All in 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Inside corner. Education of a rookie. Greg Holman called out on strikes. And Latos throws at 1-2-3-6. Mariners. This young man just killing some ice cream. 3-1 Mariners.
Field sunblock mandatory today. Hi friends, Andrew Menting here at the Northwest Ford Sports Desk. Not the same story in New York. After an hour and 38-minute rain delay, the Subway Series got underway between the Yankees and Mets. Tied at 1 with a man on in the 8th. Curtis Granderson smacks a sacrifice fly to right. That allows Brett Gardner to tag from third and untie the game 2-1. Since then, the Mets have come back to tie it at 2 apiece. Mariano Rivera blew the save, Dave. So that means that Brandon League, if he came in, would have it all by himself.
Nicely done there, Angie, and good call on the sunblock. Spoken like a true mom. I like it. 1-2 to Anthony Rizzo, leading off the 7th inning. 7-8-9 here for San Diego. Nick Hundley and Alberto Gonzalez to follow.
And again, he's been efficient today. Bevan has. This will be his 80th pitch of the game.
And he strikes out Rizzo. It's his 4th strikeout. Now look at Bevan. It reminds me of something we discussed the other day. He talked about Pineda, his ability as a big man to repeat that delivery. This kid has that down as well.
He's been known as a strike thrower the last couple of years, and even coming into this, you take a look at his numbers so far today, just the 1 earned run, a couple of walks for him. But a lot like Pineda, where they're big men, you can see him striding out there. But he typically has good command, and he didn't walk when he got, I think it was 93 innings pitched for him in the minor leagues this year, and only 20 walks. It's impressive. And I think it's even more impressive what he's doing today, just because it's his major league debut. He has to be excited. There has to be some anxiety in there. And he came right out in the first couple of innings and established his fastball for strikes.
Yeah, he controlled all
Good
of that
stuff.
and made that excitement and anxiety work for him to this point. 1-1. High fly ball left field for Holman. And puts it away for the 2nd out. Quick 2 outs here in the 7th. Make sure you stay on top of traffic by riding Link Light Rail to the airport. For scheduling info, visit soundtransit.org for details. Going to bring up Alberto Gonzalez. Single and a run scored in the 3rd, and he got hit in the back on a 1-2 breaking ball in the 5th. Just joining us, Kennedy with an RBI in the 1st on a single, and 2 sac flies in the 3rd by Smoke and Ackley for the Mariner runs today. And Bevan's got Gonzalez in an 0-2 hole.
I'll tell you something else too, with his size and pitching from the right side of the rubber. When he goes to the outside corner like he's going to right here, that angle is tough for right-handed hitters.
6'7" coming downhill. Makes it tough. Back to the screen off of Josh Bard. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Down back. Boston won at Houston 2-1. Minnesota at home beat Milwaukee 9-7. 2-2 pitch. Got a stay alive swing. Cubbies beat the Sox 3-1. Colorado 16-8. Losing at home in the 7th to Kansas City. 2-2. This is playable. Gutierrez on the glide. Puts it away. How about Blake Bevan, everybody? Through 7. A run on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks in his major league debut. A 3-1 Mariner lead.
Brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. The fun starts at only $11.99 only at your Pizza Hut. And by Money Tree. Looking for a loan with more time to repay? Apply for a Money Tree payday loan online at moneytreeinc.com. Good luck at the ferry. On a gorgeous day here in Seattle, Washington, with the sun having broken through about an hour ago. Glorious day here. Good crowd at Safeco Field as Blake Bevan making his Major League debut. And he has thrown a nice ball game. And let's review how we got to this point here. And in the first inning, how about Adam Kennedy, Mr. Dependable? Comes up with a base hit each row, who had singled and scored and made it 1-0. Take you to the third inning now. And Will Venable, he doubles to right center field. And scores Alberto Gonzalez with one out. Scored him all the way from first. That tied the score at 1-1. Bottom of that inning. And the Mariners load him up. Justin Smoke. Tell you what, he didn't miss a grand slam by too much.
No, he didn't. And I really like this inning. The Mariners, a couple of singles, then a walk, and then they get a couple of sacrifice flies. Runners on third, less than 2 outs, taking advantage of that as Brendan Ryan comes in and scores. And that's where we're at right now, 3-1.
See if Rally Fries can add a few more to the Mariner tally here. 3-1, the rubber match, and a final interleague game for both teams.
Well, I like this sign today. We saw it early in the telecast, and let's see if we can get the Mariners to rally up. But the sign is cute, and I like the artwork there. But the fact that Brody, the little guy who's taking a nap now, he's had enough. He's been on TV quite a bit today. They're from Hermiston, Oregon, so thanks for making the travels here to the ballpark today. A nice sign.
Well done.
And Brody, got to rally up. Big guy. He's had enough.
Figueroa leads off. Nice looking kid. And a new pitcher for San Diego. Figueroa looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 2 today. New pitcher is Ernesto Frieri.
Frieri is do a lot of work out of the pen this year. 39 innings pitched for him.
1-1 to Figueroa. It's interesting that we can hear Bill Miller saying inside 2-1. I think everybody's on pins and needles, wouldn't you be? And particularly this crew coming off of last night.
Well, I always liked it when the umpire would bark it out that way and let you know.
It's going to be enough for a base hit. Carlos Figueroa, 5th hit for the Mariners. Good start here to the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners' last home game of the first half of the season. We'll be back here at Safeco Field on Thursday, July 14th. 3 games coming up in Oakland, 4 in Anaheim.
Mariners trying to get Franklin Gutierrez going. This is the kind of at bat where maybe that can happen. You have some options. Obviously, a hit and run is there. Get the infielders moving around, see if you can get a ground ball base hit. But I think more importantly, he has the right side of the infield open. Franklin's been around, and he would certainly like to take advantage of that. And the good news is it keeps him on the ball a little bit longer. Let it travel. See if he can hit the ball the other way hard. Get him back on track.
Guerrero back safely. Frieri, the 0-1. Foul.
Franklin squaring around late. My guess is he was trying to bunt for a base hit. I don't think that was a sacrifice. Finds himself in a hole now. Taking a look at Franklin. Pitch away for him, having to reach for it. It's a fastball away.
Pretty much try anything to get that base hit, get something going. Oh, and 2 to Gutierrez. And he's gone on 3 pitches. So Franklin 0 for 3 day, couple of strikeouts. There's K for 3, 1 out, 1 on. Goody now 0 for his last 11. Josh Bard grounded out to first, struck out looking. Ernesto Frieri, 6'2", 200, born in Bolivar, Colombia. Fly ball right field, Venable. 2 down. That'll leave it up to Ichiro to try to keep this going here in the 7th inning. Figueroa at first. And Pauly warming up for the Mariners. If that is going to be it for Blake Bevan. Boy, you cannot say enough about what that young man did. 1 run on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks.
Ichiro with a couple of hits in the game. Also scored 2 runs.
Blake Bevan, Irving, Texas, good for him. Rick Bedard on the DL. Needed somebody to come up here and start. He is throwing a fine ball game. There's Ichiro way off the plate, 2-0. Started the day at 268, up to 272. 3-0.
Josh Spence, the left-hander for the Padres, getting loose, probably getting ready for Adam Kennedy, who's up after Brendan Ryan.
4-pitch walk to Ichiro. 2 on. Hey kids, there's a place here at Safeco Field just for you. Seattle Children's Playfield, located on the main concourse in center field. Playfield's also host of the Kids Clubhouse with Mariners apparel and gifts tailored just for you youngsters. Plus, you can check out the Moose's Munchies that serves special food geared to the younger Mariner fans. Always a great ballpark experience here in Seattle. 3rd time Ichiro has reached base. 2 hits and a walk. Brendan Ryan. 1 for 2, a walk and a run scored. One on the breaking pitch. Win today would get the Mariners to 41 and 43. Hold on and get this one. Ryan, he's behind. See if he can get a 2-strike base hit. And fouled into Hundley's glove, and the frustration mounts. But the Mariners still lead by the count of 3-1.
entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Sterling Savings Bank. Visit sterlingsavingsbank.com. We have a new pitcher on the mound. That means Blake Levin's day is over. But what a debut day.
Yeah, he was outstanding, and it was more than you could expect from a kid coming up from AAA Tacoma to shine the way Blake Bevan did. We check out our steel cut above the rest. The young man from Irving, Texas, Mike, looked good from the very beginning.
Yeah, he did. He came here with the reputation of throwing strikes, and that is exactly what he did today. Commanded his fastball. I like the way he elevated pitches at times when he needed to get some strikeouts. But poised effort by Bevan. Not sure what you're going to get making your major league debut. Didn't seem to faze him in the least. And he had a terrific outing today.
Blake Bevan, here's his line for today. What an accomplishment.
We'll take a look at 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 90 pitches for him. Gave up 1 run. It was earned on just 3 hits over the 7 innings that he pitched.
David Pauly takes over, and he's got a 1-1 count to Will Venable. Blake Bevan, he's got reason to smile and enjoy this one. Slicing drive to left field for Holman, who's been busy out there today. 1 out. Happy birthday wishes to Jim Boley down in Beaverton, Oregon, from his girlfriend Mandy. Mr. Holman's been kept busy and has done a good job patrolling left field. Good coverage out there with Holman in left, Rudy in center, and Ichiro in right. Shortstop Jason Bartlett. He's 0 for 3 today. Bouncing ball foul. July 4th, nothing like baseball. July 4th in the sunshine. Will be in Oakland tomorrow. 1:05 first pitch. Michael Pineda against Brandon McCarthy. Tuesday, it'll be Felix Hernandez against Trevor Cahill. And then Wednesday, getaway day. Look out! Breaking ball, it didn't break. 2 hit batters today on breaking balls. He got away from Mariner pitcher. You can really hear this one too.
83 miles an hour.
Pauly, breaking ball gets away. Bartlett gets hit. He's on first with 1 out for Chase Headley. Line drive into left field. Holman has to play it on the bounce. First and second for San Diego.
That is the 6th hit for Headley in this series.
He's been consistent. Not a big banger, but boy, he's going to put his bat on the ball. Got just 2 homers, 29 RBIs. Top 10 hitter in the National League. The final game in Oakland's Wednesday at 12:35. Start Jason Vargas against Guillermo Moscoso. Brings up Ryan Ludwig, who struck out, lined out to short, and walked. Popped up. Ichiro will get under it. Runner at second. Bartlett tags, and he'll get the third. That's the 2nd out. Runners at the corners now for San Diego. Big out.
Make him hit it to the big part of the ballpark. He's going to do some damage. Ludwig again hitting 10 home runs so far for the Padres. Make him go the other way. David Pauly getting a lot of experience pitching late into games, is aware of that now.
Brings up Chris Denorfia, the left fielder, 0 for 3 today. Ball 1 to Chris. Bounce back to the pitcher, ground to third, fouled out to the shortstop. First job by Bart. 2-0. That was a good job scrambling back there.
You had to on that one. You have the tying run at first. You want to keep him there.
Pauly, a little bit of a bind here. He's got 2 outs, 2 on. Mariners lead by 2, and he's 3-0 to DeNorfia with Cameron Maben on deck. Back with a strike. Back in the ball game here. Big 3-1 pitch. Pauly looking for the third out here. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. DeNorfia. Count run full.
To the tracer, all those pitches down in the zone. He had to elevate the one to make sure he gets a strike. Didn't want to walk him, but now hopefully he can make him hit his pitch against something on the ground.
David Pauly 3-2 to DeNorfia. Low ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
Maben so far has walked and grounded out to shortstop a couple of times. There's Jamie.
Carl Willis asking for time. He'll come out. Jamie Wright. Firing it up out there, and Pauly trying to regain here. Got the first out. Then on an 0-2 pitch hit the shortstop Bartlett. Headley first pitch swinging base hit. Ludwig flies out to right, and DeNorfia walks in a 3-2 pitch. David Pauly going against Cameron Maben for the first time. And this is a big spot. Blake Bevan has held San Diego to 1 run. Now Pauly's got him loaded up with 2 outs here in the 8th. Strike 1. So you got Bartlett at third. Headley's at second. And Chris DeNorfia at first base. Count 0-1 to Cameron Maben. Big bender, strike 2.
That is huge to be able to get out in front of a hitter with the bases loaded. He has him in a 0-2 count. See if he can throw a couple of pitches off the plate, make Maben chase him. Plenty of room to work.
The 0-2 from David Pauly. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. David Pauly gets out of an 8th inning jam. The Padres leave the bases loaded, and the Mariners preserve the lead at 3-1. What a job by David Pauly.
Sports is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Cheesy Bites Pizza. The fun starts at only $11.99 only at your Pizza Hut. And by Money Tree. Looking for a loan with more time to repay? Apply for a Money Tree payday loan online at moneytreeinc.com. All right, coming into the game right now as the Mariners lead it 3-1 is Josh Spence. And sort of an interesting story on Josh Spence, who is from Australia. He rocks a Yoda backpack, or at least that's what I thought it was. And he says, no, it's not a Yoda backpack. That is just a really old koala bear clinging on to my shoulders. And then I said, so what do you keep inside the Yoda backpack? And he swears it's Vegemite. Really. I don't know what it is about these Australians and their love for Yoda. You guys may remember Chris Snelling, the former Mariner, a huge Yoda fan.
That's right. Good stuff, Angie. Thank you very much. That's funny. Here's what Mr. Spence has done thus far.
Only 4 innings pitched for him, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Opponent's average 143.
He's just coming off his major league debut on the 24th of June against Atlanta. Struck out the first batter that he faced was Jason Hayward. He's got Adam Kennedy here. Mariners holding a 2-run lead.
Sidearm delivery, tall, lanky kid. Sure, he has a slider from down there. Work that pitch off the plate to the left-handers.
Fought off by Kennedy. No play by the third baseman. This catch front row. Brought the glove and it paid off. All right, Dad. Adam Kennedy drove into Mariners' first run. First inning with an RBI single to left. 1-2. Kicks his leg out. Reminds me of Bronson Arroyo. Stiff leg kick coming out of his windup. Bronson Arroyo with Cincinnati Reds. Breaking ball. Sky to left. Northfield takes the catch. One out here in the Mariner 8th. This summer, go over the edge and take your support of Special Olympics to new heights. Sign up right now to rappel from Rainier Tower in downtown Seattle and raise money for Special Olympics athletes in our area. Head to SOWA.org to register or for more information. Switch hitter Justin Smoke. He'll swing it right-handed here against the lefty Josh Spence. RBIs today for the Mariners: Kennedy, Smoke, and Ackley. That's a deceptive pitch.
Really nice changeup from Spence. I would think from that arm angle that ball really worked down and away from the right-handed hitters.
Good crowd on hand, 28,001, and we invite you folks at home to text in at 95323 your thoughts on what Blake Bevan did in his major league debut today. Mariners in need, and he came up large. Your thoughts, 95323. 1-2 pitch coming to Smoke. Popped it up, and Rizzo does have a play. 2 down.
And as you would expect, Brandon Lee cranking things up in the Mariner bullpen on his way to the All-Star game.
Good for him.
Yep. Congratulations to Brandon. Felix, of course, is also in there with him. Those are the 2 Mariners. Leading the league in saves, 21 of them.
Take away that hiccup he had in May. I mean, that's a dominant piece of work that he's had this year. Ackley bidding for a hit, and he's got one. Hit it just far enough. A wedge shot just out of the reach of Bartlett, the shortstop.
So he cues it off the end of the bat. A little bit of a changeup, but it's slicing away from Bartlett, the shortstop, and he can't get to it. Dustin Ackley will certainly take that hit. Bring up Greg Hallman.
Hallman has seen a lot of breaking balls today, although he did take a called third strike on a fastball in the 6th inning on a 1-2 pitch.
Good news for him. Left-hander on the mound. So the breaking ball will come to him as opposed to breaking away. There's a changeup.
Like what you said earlier, sometimes a young player go up there looking for that breaking ball.
It's a hard thing for them to do, and eventually they'll learn it. Another changeup. Just staying with the off-speed pitches to Greg. It's so difficult. They've gotten here mostly because they can hit the fastball and they want to stay on that. And I don't blame them, but sometimes you have to make an adjustment. At least show them that you're willing to do that. But that comes with time. Mariners have a lot of young hitters in the lineup. Talking about Smoke and Ackley, Hallman, Peguero on deck.
Dustin Ackley down at first as we look at Carlos Peguero. Ackley has reached base in all 13 of his games since being called up. The breaking ball gets Hallman again. So he strikes out for the 3rd time here today. To the 9th we go. Well, Sunday afternoon BLT. Brandon League time coming on. 3-1 for the save and the win.
Men take care at the Northwest Forward Sports Desk. Bob Melvin taking on his former team, the Diamondbacks, but this time, of course, as the skipper of the Oakland A's. We check in on this one. David DeJesus in the 4th with 2 on. Lines one over a leaping shortstop into left field, bringing in Coco Crisp. Hideki Matsui as well. Oakland up 2-1. And right now it is 7-1. Dave, back upstairs.
All right, Angie, thank you. All-Star Brandon League against Anthony Rizzo. And League named to the All-Star team here today. Congratulations, Brandon.
Take a look at his numbers. 33 2/3 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, just 5 walks. ERA just keeps dropping down to 3.48 now.
To left field. Hallman for the first out. Felix Hernandez also making the All-Star team, and as you mentioned earlier, he may not get a chance to perform in that game because he's scheduled to pitch that Sunday before the All-Star game, so that should knock out he and Verlander and could knock out a lot of top-flight pitchers.
Open the door maybe for a couple of other guys like, I don't know, maybe Michael Pineda.
Works for me. I'm sure it would work nicely for Michael. I got the O-Dog, Orlando Hudson, a pinch hit here for Nick Hundley. Hudson, a switch hitter. hurt his left leg, fouled the ball off his left knee, squared it up on Friday night. (1-0) to Hudson. Side.
The thing that's made things difficult for hitters against Brandon is just on a last fastball at 98 miles an hour. Hudson has struggled from the left-handed side of the plate this year. When he's able to get ahead in counts or throw that first pitch fastball for a strike, it really opens up the plate for his split. He's throwing a slider to the right-handers now.
He's got a full arsenal.
No, there's been nights when he's been completely on his game. We've seen him top out at 100 this year, but it's just not fair. When he's able to throw his fastball for strikes on the corners at that velocity and then come back with a split at 87 and a slider around 89 miles an hour, it's tough.
2-1 pitch. Blows it by him at 98. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's worked back to even it up at 2-2. To Hudson, fouled off. Look out! Look out, man!
Well, let's see what he wants to do here. See if he wants to go to a split. He hasn't shown it yet to Hudson.
2-2 pitch. There it is. 2 outs.
Look at another pinch hitter. Kyle Phillips is going to hit for Gonzalez. It's Brandon Legg after a handful of 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. Here's that 87-mile-an-hour split. You can see the bottom drop out of it. For a hitter, that's not fair to throw in that location. Pitch down out of the zone.
One of those tip the cap and take a seat.
That's it.
2 outs. Kyle Phillips, younger brother of Jason Phillips. There's the Mariner bullpen catcher. Swing. How about Brandon Legg? Boy, he's been something. 21 out of 24. And converted his last 14. Not giving up a run in 14 innings entering this appearance. 0-1 to Phillips. Steve right 2. The crowd of 28,001. 28,001 rising to its feet now. 0-2 League. The pitch to Phillips. Outside. Ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes. Ackley playing on the grass in short right field. 1-2 from League to Phillips. Hey, got him, struck him out, and the ball game's over. Mariners win it 3-1. Blake Bevan wins his major league debut with a sparkling 7-inning performance. And how about all-star Brandon Legg? He's now 22 out of 25 in his work out of the bullpen in save situations. And over his last 15 now, he's saved them and not given up a run in 15 innings.
They had just enough offense from the Mariners today, scoring the 3 runs. Ichiro starts the game off with a base hit and scores, and then they pick up a couple of more runs in the third. Runners on third, less than 2 outs. The Mariners do a nice job. Couple of sacrifice flies to get those runners in. A little bit of run support for Bevan, but what a story he was today. As David mentioned, 7 innings pitched, giving up just 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 4 strikeouts for Bevan. He was in control of this game right from the outset.
Unbelievable. And how about the Mariners now? They close out the series 2-1 and close out the season series against San Diego. 5 wins against 1 losses. And look what the pitching did against San Diego. 54 innings, 3